everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Love After Lockup. This is season 3, episode 31, and it was titled Toe or Never. Alright, y'all, before I jump into this recap review, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me along with the share button. Alright, y'all, so who we gonna start with today? We gonna start with Shawn and Kristiana, okay? Because they ain't really have a lot popping tonight. So we gonna start with them. He picking her up, he driving to pick her up and stuff like that. And I guess they only got one jail that's nearby, so he picking her up at the jail he picked her up before. And he's letting us know again that she his wife. And I'm like, we already know that, John. We saw it the last time we all got married out in the woods and stuff. But he gotta let us know. He like, I just want y'all to know in case y'all forgot. So he tells us that he's nervous about living with her. And he said he don't know if she snores. And this what threw me, y'all. He don't know if she gonna be a good mama. I'm like, John, don't you think you should have thought about that before you asked her to marry you? Or no, you ain't. Oh, okay. But he said he nervous about that because they only lived together for what, like 2 days or something, or maybe a day and a half after she got out of jail, or not even got out of jail after she left the halfway house. So he's scared about that, and then he's scared that she's gonna find out about Tara or whatever. But he's not really trying to worry about that because Tara, you know, she's not there right now. She gained 35 pounds. And let me tell y'all, I thought, like, she looked like she was pregnant. And I was like, did he get her pregnant before she went in jail? Because remember, they had Bow Chicky Wow Wow before she went in there. So I was like, is she pregnant and she ain't tell him? Because she had, like, the pregnant face. The belly was looking all tight and stuff. But apparently, she just gained a whole lot of weight in jail. So she gets out and she says that, you know, I'm fat, ain't I? I mean, he was like, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that or whatever. I'm not falling into that trap. And she was like, you know what? I love you or whatever. He was like, okay, I love you too. And so she's letting us know that she just hopes that she does well out of jail. She says she doesn't want to go back to jail and she just wants to be successful at something other than going to jail. So I was like, oh, Kristiana. Because it sounds like she want to do right or whatever. And so while they're driving, a bill collector called him and stuff. And he was like, oh, yeah, the check just came in. I'm going to pay that bill tomorrow. So then he tells her, you know, like money was strapped while, you know, it's in jail and stuff, living with mom and Tara, you know, money was strapped and stuff. So she asked him if Tara had flirted with him or whatever. And he was like, yeah, no, I don't get down like that because I'm married and, you know, like, I said, why would he lie? Now, see, that was the right opportunity to tell her, like, yeah, your sister was coming on a little strong, but, you know, I blocked her. I was here with it, like, nope, I'm married. And he was like, because I don't want to cheat on my wife or whatever. And she was like, why not? He was like, because you my wife and I love you or whatever. She was like, oh. So I said, when this thing come out that they had some little connection, because she is not going to trust you, John. Okay, now John, you should have just told her, okay? And then they had like a little scene where she was talking about something she can't wait to get on top of him and stuff and ride it like a cowgirl. She was going to hold on to the ponytails and stuff like that. But first she had to get a COVID test. And I'm like, John, you was in the car with her the whole time with no mask on. Now you want to put a mask on. So when she get the COVID test, I'm like, that was whatever, child. It's like, what was the point of that? So she get the rapid COVID test and it came back negative. So he was like, all right, we about to bow chicky wow wow in these woods, girl. Let's get it, okay? I'm going to be Pocahontas, okay? That's what he had said. But anyway, y'all, that was pretty much it for Shawn and Kristiana. Lamar and Andrea, they really didn't have too much going on either. It's date night. She's kind of nervous about going on a date because she said every time they go on a date, it'd be some bull and they end up arguing and stuff like that. So she kind of nervous to go on a date and whatever. But, you know, they haven't been on a date in a long time. Talking about something. Does grocery shopping count as a date? No, it don't. No, it don't. But she said it's been a long time. So he outside with Tennyson And he done brought her a new car, child. He said he doing good with his music. He done sold some tracks and stuff, and he doing real good. So he brought his baby a car. Tennyson like, she gonna flip out. You know, she gonna find something negative. She gonna be upset. And he like, how can she be upset? I brought her a whole car. Like, how she gonna be upset? So we see Andrea, she in there, she getting ready. She telling Priscilla that she gonna be kissing on her daddy. And Priscilla like, yeah, I don't need to know that. That's TMI, mama. And so she was like, well, where Tennyson and your dad? She was like, they outside. So they was putting a bow on the car and stuff. She get outside. She like, is this your car? You brought a car? He was like, no, I brought a car for you. You brought a car for me? Are you serious? So she was really excited. She was really happy. She was appreciative. She was real grateful. And she said she felt loved and stuff like that. And he talking about we gonna have to christen this car. She was like, we need to pull up to a car wash or something, child. So that's their spot when they want to, you know, bow chickie wow wow without the children. They get on the little car wash and he give her a little finger play and then kiss her on the neck and stuff like that. She might, you know, slob on him or something. You know what they do. But that was pretty much it for them. So I was happy. Andrea ain't blow up, act a goddamn monkey, because you know how she can. Well, we ain't got the money. We need to buy a house. But she didn't. I was like, yay, Andrea, you are doing so well, girl. You is doing so well. Let's hit on with Sarah and Michael. Again, like I said in my last video, why are we watching them? It's pointless, because we already know what's going on. We already know what's going to happen. They going to get back together, then he going to sleep with somebody else, and then she going to find out her feelings going to be hurt. She going to think she pregnant. She going to take a test. It might be positive. It might be negative. It's 50-50 with these two. And they going to go right back into this cycle. So why are they on the show again? Why? Can we get another couple? Can we get another couple? He making pancakes for the churn. She taking video of him making pancakes for the churn. He said they free, they having sex and stuff, and she says she wishes that things would have went better for them when she see him with the kids and him living in there and stuff. And he talking about something, they having a lot of dreams at night together. Basically, they fucking at night. Like, we not stupid. Nobody's stupid. Y'all having sex. We heard y'all giggling on the last episode. Like, we know what y'all doing, okay? Y'all both grown people. If you doing it or whatever, who cares? Like, who cares? So at any rate, Emmy calls her best friend or whatever on FaceTime and stuff, and she like talking to her, you know, oh, we was just eating pancakes and stuff with the kids and whatnot. Here go Michael. He walking up behind her. She was like, is that Michael? She was like, yeah, you know, he's here. She was like, did you say he's living here? She was like, oh no, he's just here, you know, visiting and stuff. She was like, So Emmy was like, so what's going on with y'all? Like, he's there, and what does Malcolm feel about it? She was like, well, me and Malcolm are no longer together because he couldn't deal with this or whatever. She was like, well, who would deal with that? Like, you got the man living there. Like, what man would be okay with your ex living there and y'all have a history together? Like, who would be okay with that? And she's like, well, it's just we're not together and stuff. We're not doing it. And then Emmy was like, was y'all, you know, hooking back up and stuff? No. She was like, okay. I'm like, you lying? What you lying for, girl? Like, what is you lying for? We know that you're sleeping with him, okay? Because in the next episode, you're going to think you're pregnant. We already know, Sarah. We know how you operate. So he comes in there telling my son, well, you got the charger for this. Like, you see she on the phone. You just want to be seen and heard. So, I guess Emmy thought maybe he left out the room or whatever, but she was asking her, like, why are you doing this? Why is he living with you and stuff? You know this is a bad move. And then Sarah explaining herself, and then he getting all in his feelings. Talking about, well, you shouldn't even have to explain yourself to her. Like, what kind of question is that to ask? Why are you with somebody and y'all married? Not married. Y'all got kids. Yeah, y'all married and got kids together. So what's she worried about it for? You don't got to explain yourself to her. And then he goes off in the room. She looking like, Emmy like, all right, girl, whatever. And they end up hanging up, and then he comes back in the room and jumps on top of her, talking about son, we friends, we in a great place right now, we friends, we parents, and we good sexual partners or whatever. And then I was just like, all right, I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of them. Because it's the same BS all the time. So that's why I'm like, why are we still, it's nothing new. Like, if it was something new, then I'd be like, all right, we could follow their story. But it's nothing new. Like, we keep seeing the same stuff over and over again. It's nothing new. So why are we still following them? Like, their storyline is not even that entertaining anymore. Like, I'm not entertained by them. If anything, I just see them and I really want to fast forward through their scenes because it's just the same crazy toxic bullshit. So like, we see Amber and Puppy. Let's talk about Amber and Puppy, child. So Amber and Puppy, Amber picks up her mama, and I guess her mama lives in a different state or whatever, and she hasn't seen her mom in 2 months, but she ended up getting like a travel pass, so she came to see Amber or whatever. So the mom wants to know what's going on between Amber and Puppy, and Amber like, well, I feel like you asking me what's going on between us, like if we are a couple or whatever. And she was like, well, I just want to know. So Amber tells us that Puppy putting too much pressure on her to be in a relationship with her. And then we see the little scene where Puppy was asking Amber if she would be with a girl or whatever. And Amber tells us that she's feeling guilty because she still hasn't told Puppy about Sammy or whatever. And then we see Puppy, and Puppy lost a lot of weight, okay? And I'm like, what Puppy doing? She lost a whole bunch of weight. Maybe she was exercising and working out, child. Who knows? But anyway, she said, like, she lost a lot of weight. And she got a job. And the supervisor, Queen, she was in jail with Puppy or whatever. And so they're, I guess, friends or whatever. And Puppy is not taking this job very seriously, okay? So she cleaning people's houses. I thought it was like apartment buildings or something, but it looked like she cleaning people's houses. Or they might be apartment buildings too. But at any rate, the Queen says she gonna catch up her later, like she leaving for the day and stuff. And she asked Amber, she had a ride and stuff. She was like, well, I hope I got a ride. I don't know, because Amber be acting real mean lately. Like she been pushing me away and being real closed off and stuff. And she seems to be repulsed by my presence. So I was like, what's up with that? So we see Amber, she lets her mom know that she's talking to Sammy, and the mom is like, not with Sammy, okay? She says Sammy is bad, a bad guy. He's toxic for Amber. He into drugs, drinking, all that stuff or whatever. And Amber tells us the background story with them. They dated for like 4 years. Then they had like a big breakup or whatever. And then they didn't talk for about 10 years. And then he went to jail, and then they started talking again. So Amber's like, the mom was like, well, why are you talking to him again? She was like, because I love him or whatever. And I think the mom said it was like real abusive too. Like he was trying to control Amber, kept her away from the family. I don't know if she said physical abuse, but she did say he was like real controlling and stuff. So Amber's like, well, I love him, and he's changed. He's not that person no more. And she was like, well, how do you know that? If he was in jail, he can't do anything. He's in jail. But I'm like, it's a lot of people in jail who still do drugs and who be still drinking hooch or whatever they be making. So that don't really mean nothing. So, I mean, if he really wanted to do drugs, he would do some drugs. Or if he really wanted to drink, he would drink. And if he really wanted to be still in that game, he could still be in that game. But Amber feels like he's changed and anything like that. But the mom is just not with it. And then we see Puppy. Puppy tells us that, it's her first job, and her last job was selling meth or whatever. And she's saying like she is not made for work. She doesn't want to get up in the morning. She doesn't want to clean up. She doesn't want to do anything. And she says she's been taking advantage of opportunities that she shouldn't. And she was cleaning these people's alcohol cabinet, and then she pulled out the people alcohol. I said, was she about to drink their alcohol? Girl, you finna lose your whole entire job, okay? And if they wanted to, they can press charges for you stealing. Girl, you finna go back to jail. Then we see later on Puppy, Amber, and Amber's mom, they're eating dinner or whatever. And it's their first time all together outside of jail and stuff. And so Puppy says she's still trying to adjust to society and stuff. And the mom notices that she lost a lot of weight. And Puppy says she did lose a lot of weight, but she's, having, a good time. She feels good about her weight loss. And she says she's just been living her life. So that made me think, when she said, it was the way she said it, it made me think that she's doing maybe some drugs and maybe drinking. Well, we know she was drinking because she pulled out them people alcohol. So I'm like, girl, this is not the way. You is about to go back to jail. Like, girl, and you on probation? For what, 20 years or something, child? So they talk about the adoption, and I think the mom brought up the adoption or something like that, and then she asked, well, how was he when y'all talked to him on the phone and stuff? And Amber was like, well, he was a real dick. He was real, like, all angry and stuff like that. And but we petitioned for the paperwork to see, you know, how the legal stuff went about. And so Puppy was like, oh, well, I got the paperwork. So Amber was like, well, pull it out, girl. What we waiting for? She was like, I was waiting for you and us to be together. So she was like, all right, whip it out, girl, whip it out. So she opened up the paperwork. She reading it line by line. And her signature, where her signature was supposed to be, Vincent signed her name. I said, what? So it is plain forgery. So they like, well, Puppy like, well, I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna go to Vegas and I'm gonna and Amber, she gonna roll with me and we gonna confront him. Amber like, what? So they get outside and Amber like, look, we cannot just roll up to Vegas, not pre-planned and nothing like that. And the mama all game for it. She like, well, we not going to do nothing illegal. We just going to go there and talk to him and stuff. I'm like, this is going to blow up. This is not, no. Amber, if you're trying to stay out of jail, then you do not need to follow them to no goddamn Vegas. Because they is going to get you hemmed up, locked up, and y'all all three finna be back in jail. Child. And Vince crazy. This is crazy. Y'all see how his eyes was all the time. Amber. Like, no. They better leave that man alone. Just walk away from it. Just leave it be, okay? Just leave it be. Y'all let me know what y'all felt about that, child. What we doing next? Let's talk about Brittany and Marcelino. This is so sad. This is so sad, child. So, Brittany is taking the mom to the site where she got burnt. And Marcelino, like, you sure you want to do that? That's something big. Like, that could set her back or whatever. And Brittany, you know, she a counselor and stuff, child. So she like, this is going to be good for her. She need to face all her demons. She need to, you know, get this out her system and stuff. Marcelino like, all right, baby. All right, whatever. So, excuse me. So, he basically get it. He understand and stuff that she wanted her to face the fears and all this other stuff. But like he said last time, it can go left or it could go right. Sydney, she feels like she about to puke and stuff like that. And she not really ready to go down this road. She like, this road real long, ain't it? Like, I feel like I'm about to be sick. Then Brittany tells us what happened. She said around midnight her dad called her and said like, your mom was in an explosion and if you want to come and say your final goodbye, sir, because they didn't think she was going to make it because she was burnt over 80% of her body and they didn't think she was going to make it. So he said if you want to say your final words, you know, come through. So she skipped probation and she went there to be by her mom's side and her other sister came too or whatever, but nobody else was there. And so she said that her mom has been depressed since then and suffering from PTSD. Like, I would too. I don't know how Cindy smokes because I would be scared of fire. Like, look, okay, as a child, I had set a dang on roll of toilet tissue on fire in my mama's bathroom. She beat my ass so bad. I've been scared of fire ever since then. I don't do no lighters. I don't do no matches, cookouts and stuff. I can barely light a goddamn barbecue grill. To light my candles, I use the little candle thingy. I do not mess around with fire. I don't understand how Sydney still smokes cigarettes and she just be, girl, because the story she told us, she said that, because, what's the child name? Brittany asked her, like, what happened? She said, well, I was just lighting a cigarette, and then it was just like, boom, a big explosion. Girl, I would be scared of cigarettes. I would be scared of fire. I would be scared of everything, okay? I don't like propane. I don't like gas stoves. I don't like none of that stuff, okay? I got a torch for my craft, and I'd be scared to load the thing up and, like, look, So I don't mess around with it. But they still don't know what the cause of what happened. They think like the propane tank leaked or something like that. She said she was drinking. Her and the ex had a huge fight and stuff. And she said she felt desperate. And so Brittany was like, what? She was like, I was so mad. I woke up the next day in the hospital and I was so mad that I was still alive. So Brittany was like, Mom, you tried to kill yourself? And she was just like, I was just so tired of everything. Like, you just don't understand. I was just so tired of everything. And nothing even mattered. Like, nobody cared. Nobody loved me or anything. And I was just like, oh my God, Cindy. Oh my God. My heart just broke. Like, Like, I was just like, this poor woman. But Brittany had to let her know, like, you are not alone. Like, I love you. You are not alone. And so Sydney just cried on Brittany and was just like, I know that now and I'm sorry and stuff. And Brittany tells us, like, for her mom to have survived that is a testimony that she is here for a bigger purpose and she has all the many reasons to live and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, you survived 80% of your body being burnt, a explosion. Like, God had something bigger, way bigger than these drugs and all this pain and suffering that you are enduring. He has something way bigger for you. And I just need her to get her life right so she can enjoy those blessings and stuff like that. Because, oh my God, like, to survive that, it wasn't even nothing left there. It was just like burnt pieces of wood. So like the whole cabin must have, oh my God. I was just like, oh my goodness. But she said that she feels like Brittany said she feels like she made the right decision by bringing her up there and, helping her face her past and all that other stuff. I was just like, oh my God. I just pray that Sydney gets her life together. And that this is like a big stepping stone for her to see, like, you have love, like your daughter does love you. There are people who care about you. There are people who need you and that you do matter in this life. So she can stop using drugs and see that she is important. I just hope this all works out for her because, like, my heart just breaks for her because she is going through so much pain, like so much. Yeah, that was it for them. Who else we got, y'all? I did Lamar. Okay. Make sure. I did Amber, Puppy, Sarah, Brittany, Marcelina. Okay, we got Shawn and Destiny and Chevelle and Chevelle. Q and Chevelle. So they go to the hotel and stuff like that. DeMarc, he's still irritated. He goes to his room. I'm like, she's talking about he's just very protective over me, so I'm not even going to tell him about the ring. I said, girl, he act like he your man or something. Like, what in the world? Is he your blood cousin? Because something ain't right. Something ain't right, okay? So she's sitting down. Well, she put my needle in the bed or whatever. She's sitting down with Q, and she's like, I still can't believe I got this ring on my finger and stuff. And he was like, well, what's next? She was like, well, we just need to take baby steps and stuff. I was like, baby steps? But he just proposed to you. So that was bigger than a baby step. I'm like, oh, okay, but whatever. And then she said, well, we need to set some ground rules, no more talking to other females. If they hit you in the DM, you just ignore them or whatever. I need the passcode to your phone. He was like, well, why we need to do all that? Because, you can't be trusted. So he was like, all right, I ain't got no issue with that. I ain't got no issue. And so she was like, well, I think you should get your own room tonight. And then we meet up tomorrow and we discuss everything that needs to go on tomorrow or whatever. He was like, all right, well, I thought I was going to bow chicky wow tonight, but it's okay. I'll go. And I was thinking, why he couldn't sleep on that couch that was in the suite area? He could have just pulled, it looked like it was a sleeper sofa. So why he couldn't just sleep on that? He got to waste money and get a whole another room. Like, girl, bye. But anyway, he takes his suitcase, he go to leave or whatever. Here go DeMarc. Now, I don't know where DeMarc was headed to. I don't know if he was headed to Chevelle's room or nothing, but he had an attitude and was headed into his room to begin with. So then why are you in the hallway? But anyway, he hit in the hallway. He sees Q and he all, what is you doing here, man? Like, she want to get rid of you. She can't get rid of you because you keep following her around and stuff. He was like, following around? She don't want to get rid of me? He was like, yes, she do want to get rid of you. What is you talking about? Because when we had that conversation, you had said you was going to step up, be a man, do all this stuff. And Q was like, and I haven't. He was like, no, you haven't. He was like, what? Well, how about you ask wifey? Because I just asked her to marry me. You asked her to marry you. What? You cannot be serious, man. You cannot be serious. So they going back and forth. DeMarc ended up pushing Q. Q was like, come on, man, with all that. Don't be pushing me. So then they squared up in the hallway or whatever. So Chevelle, she peeking out the door like, what's going on? They going at it. They wrestling and stuff like that, child. She like, yeah, y'all bring DeMarc. Y'all too old for this crap. She pushing Q into the room. She's like, the cameras need to cut out of here and get the hell out of here. And she then went in the room all mad and stuff like that. But she pushed Q in the room. So I was like, well, then you want him in his own hotel? Whatever, child. The next day, Q, he must have ended up, everybody got calmed down and stuff like that, because he was wheeling his suitcase into him in that damn suitcase. He was wheeling his suitcase into Chevelle room. She mad, and she's talking about what was all that stuff that happened last night or whatever. And he was like, oh, that was nothing. And she was like, well, it happened in front of Maila. And I was like, did it though? Did it really? Because wasn't she in the bed? Like, nobody told you to peek out into the room or whatever. She was supposed to be in bed. But he was like, oh, that was nothing. Me and Uncle DeMarc, we were just playing or whatever. We were just playing. That's what he said to Maila. So then Q says, like, last night was off the chain. And he says that DeMarc needs to fall back or whatever. And so DeMarc, he pulls up the car. Here come Q with all the suitcases and stuff. He like, oh, you serious? So then Q loading up the car, because of course he ain't got no other transportation to get back home, because he flew in to see Chevelle. So he gonna have to get in the car with DeMarc, Chevelle, and Maila. So Chevelle pulls DeMarc over to the side, and she asked him about last night. He like, what about last night? Ain't nothing happened last night. And he like, well, I heard that you got proposed to. And she was like, yeah, I did. So she showed him the ring. He started laughing, child. And he was like, yeah, but we had just talked. She was like, yes, but I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm doing what makes me happy, and this is what's making me happy. So you need to kind of fall back or whatever like that. And so he just like, all right, whatever, man, whatever. He tells us that she probably bought the ring for herself. I said, ooh, the shade. And so Q hops to the back seat. He ain't worried about the mark or nothing like that, child. And she like, and I need you to apologize in front of Maila, because he was like, you want me to apologize in front of my, yes, because she saw everything that went down, so she needs to make sure that Daddy and Uncle DeMarc is fine or whatever. So he like, all right, whatever. So he go over there, he slap his hand. Maila like, that's not nice, that's not nice. And so she was like, you heard what she said, So then they like all buddied up or whatever. And inside the car, here goes Chevelle. Yeah, Daddy gonna be around for a real long time. All right, DeMarc like, I'm like, boy, just let it go. That's why you don't put people in your relationship, because as soon as you try to go back to them, people are looking at you like, really? And then they mad at you. They mad at the person you going back to. That's why you'll be letting everybody into your relationship. But Chevelle gonna learn one day. She gonna learn. And then we got our last couple, Shawn and Destiny. Okay, I was proud of Shawn. Okay, I was really proud of Shawn. Shawn manned up. Okay, he said, I ain't no punk bitch. Okay, even though he was flinching a lot. But at any rate, we see Destiny. She inside. She's talking to her sister and stuff. And she like, can you believe he just showed up for court like that? And, I hope he leaves and stuff. And he happy he got his ring back. So he shouldn't have nothing to worry about. Like, So I'm like, girl, he ain't got his car. He ain't got his credit cards. He gonna be bothering you. So Shawn, he's still waiting for the tow truck. So he like, well, I hope the tow truck I hope she don't leave before the tow truck shows up or whatever. So he's saying like he heard stories about guys getting punked while in jail or whatever, or getting scammed by the people in jail, and then he just didn't think it was going to happen to him. I'm like, sir, really? But anyway, the tow truck people arrive or whatever. So she like, well, he got his ring, he don't got to answer to nobody, nothing like that. So tow trucks is loud. You can hear a tow truck. Her Brittany, the sister, her house ain't all that big or whatever. So I'm like, don't none of them hear the tow truck pulling up. Like, I hear the UPS truck and the FedEx truck, okay? And I be like, oh, okay, that ain't my house. I hear the mail truck, okay? They ain't hear a tow truck, child, bye. So, the tow truck backing up to the car. He like, well, what do you want? He was like, well, I just want to get my car here. This is my car here, and you can take it to the dealership, or we're going to park it in the garage or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but this is my car right here. If you can get that. The man like, all right, what's going on? Brittany, she got her little sandwich. She take her sandwich into the room. Not Brittany. Destiny, she take her sandwich into the room. Brittany, she's sitting at the table. So then she ends up looking out the window, and then she finally sees that it's a tow truck and Shawn is outside the window. So she like, what the hell is going on? Sit. So they run outside. Here go Destiny. That's my car. I said, girl, that ain't your car. You was driving said car, but that ain't your car. That's like me getting a rental and saying that's my car. Girl, stop. That ain't your car. So, Destiny start hitting on Shawn and stuff like that, and she tells the tow man to stop, and the tow man like, well, he said, the car was in his name, and Shawn's like, that's my car, it's in my name, it's my car, I paid for it, I paid for the bill and stuff, and the man like, well, he showed me the paperwork or whatever, and she was like, oh, that's my car, and how you going, and Brittany like, well, how you even know where I live? Y'all ordered pizza from there, so I had figured it out and stuff like that, so, and she's like, what are you doing? You want to take the car? Well, we're not together anymore. Like, so I'm getting my car. Will you be paying for Kelly and stuff? Well, she's the mother of my children, so I'm going to pay for her or whatever like that. She has my kids. So like, what? She has 6 of my children. Like, I'm going to do that. What? So this is you think you got the last laugh, but I got the last laugh, and you ain't going to get away with this because I'm going to pay you back for everything and all this other stuff. And then she like, she tells us that she F the car and she willing to risk it all to go back to jail, and he showed his true colors, and then she hops up on the tow truck and was like, well, all my stuff is in here. You need to pop the trunk so I can get my stuff, and I'm not moving unless you pop the trunk. Where's the keys? You have the keys. I don't even have the keys. Like, where's the keys at? She's like, well, this your car. Open up the trunk, big dog. So she like, I'm getting my stuff. So he ends up popping the trunk because I guess she ain't locked the door. So he ends up popping the trunk. She gets her bag out, hops down and stuff like that. And she's talking about some, what she said? Oh, you a punk bitch. You a bitch. Like, she was just calling this man all out his name and stuff like that. And Shawn like, I'm done. I think she did this on purpose. And she said he did this on purpose. He put the car in his name so he could take it back. Girl, did you think he was going to put the car in your name? Girl, stop. Girl, stop. So then she goes to his car because he had this time in his car and stuff. And she all bucking up to him and he all flinching. She was like, look at you flinching, you old bitch and stuff. Go suck some more dick. I said, what? And then he ride off. And that was the end of the episode, y'all. I said, these people is crazy. He better had cut off them credit cards while he was on the phone with the tow truck people last episode. Because she going to try to rack up as much as she can rack up before them cards is cut off. And then what if she don't go to court because the court case was extended because of COVID. So what if she don't go to court? She gonna he gonna be out of 50K because I guess he thought that the court case got thrown out or something and he off the hook. But little do he know he's still on the hook for that 50K. So if she decides not to go back to court, she don't care if she go back to jail. He gonna be on the hook for that 50K. Child. But y'all let me know what y'all felt about the episode down there in them comments. If y'all ended up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.